What if I told you it's not your fault that you can't lose weight? But seriously, it's not. It's not. So, hi friends. Welcome to Keto with Libby. I am Libby, and today we're talking about why it's not your fault that you can't lose weight. This video is for all of you who are very much like me and who have struggled to lose weight literally your entire lives. You are a bunch of yo-yo dieters. You give up on everything because that is exactly what I have done my entire stinking life. And guess what? It is not our fault. It is not our fault that we can't lose weight. It is because we have been fed a bunch of lies and deceit. Let me explain a little bit more about that. We have been given the wrong advice. The wrong advice, the wrong advice. How many of you have heard, eat less, work out more? That's all it takes to lose weight. Just eat less and work out more. Yeah? I'll raise 2 hands because I've heard that 9 million times from people I know, from doctors, everyone. That only works if you're healthy. For people like me who type 2 diabetes runs in my family, which makes me more susceptible to insulin resistance and all of the other health issues that have come down my family line. Thank you. So yeah, I am at higher risk for those kinds of things. And let me tell you, I was never diagnosed with prediabetes or insulin resistance, anything like that. But I'm pretty sure, like 99.9999% sure, I was pre-diabetic or had insulin resistance heading to type 2 diabetes, okay? Like almost 100% sure. For those of you who are like me, this whole eat less, move more is never going to work, and I will explain exactly why here in a second. But the other thing I want to get on my soapbox about is the low-calorie, low-fat diets. How many of you, when you think of the word diet, what comes to your mind? 1,200 calories a day, eating a well-balanced plate of food, I guess, and then exercising 6 to 7 days a week. That's what I think of. That is exactly what I think of when I hear diet. So the real problem with eat less, move more, low-calorie, low-fat diets is because, number one, it is not sustainable, especially for those of us who struggle to lose weight, and we also usually have some underlying mental health issues as to why we binge and overeat. None of this attacks the root of the problem. None of this attacks the off-balance hormones, the other physiological things that could be going wrong, the mental health that goes into it as well. I just did a whole video about mental health and losing weight and all of this journey. So please go check that out, because mental health and your health are the exact same thing and they go hand in hand together. So let's kind of talk more about the health reasons why you might not be losing weight. So I said earlier that type 2 diabetes runs in my family. Now, a lot of people who struggle to lose weight have high insulin or insulin resistance, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes. Now, insulin is the hormone that the pancreas makes, and it helps regulate our blood sugar, so it's super important, but it is literally also the key to the cell, so it opens up our cells, allowing the glucose and the nutrients to go into the cells, okay? But what happens is when we're continuously spiking our blood sugar with the carbs and the sugar and everything that we eat, our cells, not our body, our cells start to stop responding to that insulin. So then the cells become insulin resistant, but you have high insulin everywhere else in the body, which leads to a whole slew of other issues, okay? So if you are insulin resistant, or if you have high insulin, you are going to struggle to lose weight, because insulin is also the #1 fat storing hormone. Why? It opens the cell, it lets glucose into the cell, and then the cell stores it later as fat to be used for energy. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to the doctor and I'm like, I want to lose weight. And they give me this exercise more, eat less bull honky. Not once did anyone say, hey, type 2 diabetes and these other health issues run in your family. Let's take a look at your high insulin, your insulin resistant. Let's look at it from this way. Let's control your blood sugar. See if that's an underlying cause of why you're not losing weight. Not once did I ever hear that. The only time this has ever made sense to me was when I was taking my keto coaching certification with Dr. Berg. This is the only time anyone had ever said anything like that to me. So how can keto help? Okay, I have been struggling to lose weight and keep it off my entire life. My entire life. Okay, I am 28 years old. That sucks. But anyways, this is why keto has worked for me and it is sustainable for me. And I think this is why, keto could work for some of you if you have the same concerns and issues that I do with all of the things we just talked about. So when we are eating a ketogenic diet, we are not eating the carbs and the sugars. We have 20 to 30 grams of carbs per day. And yes, you're always going to have some insulin and blood sugar spikes because eating does that. Like just eating in general spikes blood sugar, insulin, all the things. But here's a fun fact. Fat has the lowest effect on blood sugar. Protein has the second lowest effect, and then carbs has the highest effect. So take out those carbs, you're eating your fat and your protein, therefore you have a much lower dip. So usually when we eat carbs, sugar, up and down, carbs, sugar, up and down, blah, 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 blah. When we're eating a ketogenic diet, it goes up, level out, up, it's a little bit better, right? That's a little bit more manageable. We don't have these spikes and the drops and the highs and the lows, all the things. So that is how keto can help. We aren't spiking our insulin as much. We aren't increasing our blood sugars a crazy amount. And you guys, we can actually reverse high insulin, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. Like all of these things are completely reversible. Keto is also not a low calorie, low fat diet. It's not. You can eat, like I was looking over my macros before this, and I think I eat over 1,500 calories a day. If I told myself that like 8 years ago that I could eat over 1,500 calories, I'd be like, no, that's too many calories. I have to have 1,200 calories a day. 1,200, that's all I can have. No, I eat over 1,500 calories per day, you guys. And that's even a little bit on the low end, and I'm still losing weight. So this is not a low calorie diet, which means that you're not hungry. You should not be hungry on keto. Eat when you're hungry. Eat more during your meals so that you're not hungry. It is also not a low fat diet. Shocker. Keto is a high fat diet. Doesn't mean we just eat sticks of butter. I have a whole video about keto and fat because it is really confusing. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it in the cards. But it is not a low fat diet. A lot of the low fat foods have additives that are just not good for you. And it's just not a sustainable way of eating because our brain is literally made up of fat. So why not fuel your brain with what it's used to being, fat? So I hope this video made you feel a little bit better about why you're not losing weight. Maybe try to get to the root of the problem of why you're not losing weight. For me, I never went to a doctor. I am not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. Please speak to your healthcare professional. This is just my experience of why I couldn't lose weight. And I figured other people are probably struggling with this too. So talk to your doctors, see if your hormones are off balance, be an advocate for yourself. But yes, this is basically my rant on it wasn't my fault that I couldn't lose weight for so long. I was just very, very misinformed about what would work for my body. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. I love hearing about your journeys and just being there to motivate you guys as well makes me super, super happy. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. I also forgot to tell you that I launched a website. So if you want to check that out, it's called ketowithlibby.com. It has my YouTube channel on there. I do plan on adding a blog. It has an about me and my one-on-one coaching course. So go check that out. Okay, thanks, bye.